Thanks for tuning in to the Winter Spring Gideon's Garage Safety Briefing. This will just take a few minutes and we'll go over some policies and procedures for our garage ministry. We have some good news to report. First off, there were no injuries in 2021. Whew, that's awesome. And there were no damage to vehicles in 2021. Or maybe I should say no additional damage to vehicles. But we were safe, and I appreciate you all for your diligence in that. There were so many families blessed by this ministry, and thank you for making the garage a success. Thank you for all your efforts. So when you watch this video, you need a little notepad because there's going to be 3 college mascots that you have to identify. At the end of the video, you send an email to me at jmason2088@gmail.com and include the 3 mascots and a quick statement that says you agree to the garage policies, and you'll get your new code usually within the hour. So we have a lot of themes throughout this briefing. The first is we want you to use the garage. And here's a really cool picture that we added. There's Ron and Les Lindsay are in that picture there. And we definitely want you to fix vehicles and use the garage for ministry. This is a great way to invite people to our church. But while you're using it, we want you to do it safely. So please protect yourself, protect our church, and protect this ministry. And as you use the garage, which we hope that you'll do, please be considerate of our neighbors and other ministries here at the church. So for access, here are our rules. Only members of Farley Community Church will be allowed to use the garage outside of our scheduled events. So don't worry, we've got a schedule coming up. I'll share that at the end of the briefing. If a non-church member is present, which is great, they have to be accompanied by a Farley Church member. Members must agree to the safety and policy briefing every 6 months to get the door combination. That's what you're doing by watching this video. We ask that you complete the sign-in log every time you access the garage. The sign-in log is in the corner over by the door. Please fill that out so we have a record of what you did. And probably our most important rule is this here, that no man works alone. You must have another person with you to work in the garage. That person can be another man, it can be your spouse, it can be one of your children, as long as they're old enough to call 911, but you have to have another person with you in the garage. There is a bathroom key that's available by the entry door. It's attached to a wrench, and be aware that in the winter, we often have to winterize the restroom, so plan accordingly. There's plenty of personal protection equipment available for you in the garage. We have an eye wash station, we have gloves in the cabinet, we have safety glasses, we have a rubber apron, we have fire extinguishers. Please, if any of this equipment is missing, please let myself or Tony know so that we can get that taken care of. And looky there, we got our very first mascot. That big S on top of his hat probably gives it away a little bit, but that is Otto the Orange from Syracuse University. Again, Otto the Orange from Syracuse University. There's 2 more mascots to go. Cleanliness is an area that we probably all struggle with. I know I struggle with it personally in my own garage, but we ask that you be responsible for leaving the garage clean and secured. Make sure all the equipment is turned off. Sometimes the air compressor gets left on, and that can trip the breaker. If you use one of the rechargeable tools, please return it to the charging station so it's ready to go for the next user. Be sure to close the roll-in doors. Of course, the openers deadbolt automatically, so that's great. Turn the deadbolt on the entry door and close both fence gates. Brother Mike and I are aware that there's been an issue with people stealing our gate little L-shaped post. So we're going to work on that. But please, if there's a way to close the gates, please do so. If you drain a fluid like oil or coolant, be sure to take it with you. We don't have a service for removing that. Be sure to take large trash items with you also, especially heavy trash items. We ask that you do not pour automotive fluids down the sink. And please don't store any vehicles or parts outside of the garage. You can store a vehicle overnight in the garage. All I ask is just let me know so we can coordinate that. And if you have a complete vehicle that you need to leave at the church, we have 3 parking spots over by the dumpster. And you can leave a complete vehicle there. Just please don't leave a vehicle with body panels missing off of it. Let's talk about tools. Please return your tools to the storage location after each use. Tony and I, we keep a list after every car clinic, and we write down, matter of fact, we just spent a lot of money replacing tools and new torque wrenches and gloves and all sorts of stuff. So if there's something you think we need, please let us know. You can borrow tools from the garage, that's fine. Again, you just need to let me know so we know to expect the tool back. And like I said earlier, if you see a tool that we need, let us know, we'll take care of it. here is our second mascot, and it's from Texas. This is Super Frog, the horned frog, from Texas Christian University. So you can just write Super Frog on your email. But yeah, Super Frog, the horned frog, from Texas Christian University. One of the guys I work with in the office saw me working on this presentation about lifts. He said I should add the title, "Do You Even Lift, Bro?" And I think that's supposed to be funny if you're in weightlifting or something. So anyways, I got a couple of pictures of lift fails. Thank God those are not taken at Gideon's Garage. We've had really good use of our lifts, and that's a testament to you and your diligence. Be aware that you need to center the load both fore and aft and left to right. If you get the load, the lifts are very strong. They're 10,000 pounds a piece, but if the lift weight is not balanced, it can lead to some adjustment issues. So please be careful about that. In order to use a 2-post lift, you have to have a sign-off from Jeff Schlegel. If you have a previous sign-off, it's still valid. And of course, if you need recurring training, we're glad to provide that. The scissor lift is available to all users. It does not require a sign-off. One thing we've learned with the scissor lift, please don't raise it unless there's a vehicle on it, because it takes considerable weight to get that lift to go back down. Okay, let's talk about noise. Again, we've not had any complaints about noise, which is fantastic. Thank you for that. We do need to observe the City of Huntsville noise ordinances, and please be aware there's houses very close to the garage. So please, especially air tools or air hammers, that sort of thing, please don't use that while, especially in the evening hours. Here's our final mascot. This is the tree from Stanford University. So the last one was kind of a mouthful. This one's really simple. So again, this is the tree from Stanford University. So you should have all 3 mascots now, which lets you know we're about to wrap up. Here, as I promised, is our schedule. We're going to do the car clinic always on the 2nd Saturday of the odd months. And we have open garage day on the 2nd Saturday of the even months. So as I write this, our next event is February 12th. Please invite folks, and we definitely need your help. Now, after a car clinic a few weeks ago, Jeff and Kevin and Mike and Tony, we got together and we just kind of pulled together some notes of some things that we think we can improve on our car care clinics, and some policies that we just need to put to be clear about. So here's our car clinic notes. We are unable to perform airbag work. As much as we would like to help someone with their airbag, it's just too dangerous. We don't have the equipment, and so we have made the decision we are not working on airbags. Please, let's only have active workers under the vehicles on lifts. I know you guys do a great job lifting the vehicles safely. I have no issues with that. We've not had any injuries, which is great, but we still probably don't need to be having people congregate under the lift. So if you could help me police that, I'd really appreciate that. Whenever we take a wheel off of a car, the lug nuts must be torqued. If you've taken your car to, say, Walmart or Sam's Club or really any tire shop, you'll notice that they follow this exact same procedure, and there's a reason for it. If you just put your lug nuts on with the air wrench, you can break your lugs, or you might not get them tight enough. Whereas if you look up the spec and you torque them to the spec, you're not going to have any problems with those lug nuts. We have 2 tablets in the garage that have all data accounts on it. If you are not sure what the spec is on your vehicle, look it up. Don't guess. Please use it. One warning, please don't step on the yellow pads on the scissor lift if you can avoid it. Ask me how I know. I fell pretty hard by stepping on it, so they can be very slick, especially on a rainy car clinic day, which seems to be most of the days we get lately. And this last point is kind of hard to talk about, but it needs to be said. We've got some vehicles in that are pretty dirty, and it can be shocking if you've not been around it. Please be careful to not have any trash talking. Even though the vehicle may look like how would you say, a mobile garbage can, we would never want to make a comment like that, because we're here to do ministry. We want to make sure that we don't offend anyone. So please, let's just police each other on that. Even if the vehicle smells bad, even if it smells like a type of grass you probably shouldn't be smoking, we probably shouldn't talk about all that. So let's just keep our comments to ourselves. And Drea has done just a fantastic job of having food for us every time. So if you see Drea, please thank her, give her a big hug, and tell her just how wonderful a job she's doing, because it really has been fantastic. So here's our last slide. Again, in order to get your code, if you will send me an email at jmason2088@gmail.com, Be sure to include the 3 mascots from the video and a statement that says you watched the video and agree to the garage policies. I'll send you an email right back and you'll have the code. You'll get the code via email, and the new code is valid today. We will shut down the old code as of February 15th. You don't need a new lift sign off, but if you never were signed off on the lift and you want to use it, be sure to get with Jeff Schlegel so he can provide that training, and you should have an access code. Thanks for everything y'all do for the garage. It has been such a wonderful ministry. Have a good day. God bless you.